maybe as they come in, maybe they need to tell us where they're joining from. Yeah, their name and where they join from.
Maybe after we introduce
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, just in the chat section.
So for those of you who are just joining us, you can use the chat to let us know where you are from and what would you like to know more about this program. Should I start?
Yes, Kathy, you can start right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
So welcome everybody for participating on our Steam Up Philippines. And first of all, before I start, I want to show my appreciation and thanks for the Innovative Education Alliance IEA who invited us to collaborate on this training program. And we really think that this is going to be a great opportunity to meet with you guys to promote some of the pedagogy that is very popular right now, and hopefully it will provide the needs. It will help you on the teaching that you will do in the future. So first of all, I would like to introduce my school where one of the collaboration we had. I'm from Taiwan Tech, the National in Technology, Learning and Education. And this graduate institute was established in 20, responding to a rapidly increasing need of experts in the field of digital learning and education. And our institute is tasked with nurturing talent in all fields of digital learning and education, including the training of future industrial workforce. And we offer master program, a part-time professional master program, and a PhD program with e-learning and e-training as the two major fields of specialization. Um, for internationalization, we continue international interactions with deep cooperations, improve the contributions in international research societies, and recruit intelligent international students. So here, before I even start with the program, I want to let you know that we offer scholarships for international students to participate in our various programs. So for those of you who actually had the chance or interested about our program, we will be really happy to provide more information if you need. Okay. Then the next step, I will be introduced about myself. Okay. Sorry for telling you my name now. I'm Kathy Wang, Professor Kathy Wang. I've been working with the university about 20 years. Actually grew from here. And I on the slide you have my address, my mobile number, and also my email, and my interests is in various sectors. First of all, social media and information sharing, interactive storybooks and learning, digital reading and storytelling, digital language learning, digital culture exchange and communication, and advanced technology for learning like AR, VR, and MR. So I think this is, as I know, most of you had the background in language in Philippines. So, I think this is going to be a well um, uh, prepared seminar or training session for you to get a hint of what is going on right now in the field, and it will give you some ideas about how you can integrate various things into the program. And before I go on to talk about the program, I would like to introduce another two instructor, or I would say the main uh, instructor for the training. First one is Nicholas, and then we will have Vert. So let's have Nicholas introduce himself.
Thank you very much, Professor Kathy, for that introduction and also for giving us a very good insight of why we need to have a session like this one. And a very warm welcome to everyone who is joining us this afternoon for this session that we are about to have. So my name is Nicholas Awor. I'm from Kenya. And right now, I am a doctoral candidate at the National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. And Professor Kathy is my supervisor, and I've worked with her for the last 4 years. And I think that this institute and everything in this department is very tailored to meet the demand for the 21st century. So as you have heard about our institute, you may seize the opportunity and try to join us and try out this kind of technologies that are here for our learning or our classroom instruction. So I have worked in the government Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, as in the Department of Vocational Directorate of Technical and Vocational training. And this is something that I've done over time, especially in the digital content. So that is why I am here today to share with you. And I believe that through this program, we are going to learn from each other. We are going to share. Let's make it an interaction. Let's see how your classrooms are and how ours have been. So my areas of interest or the skills that I have is mainly on digital learning and curriculum design. I also did a lot of information system. So I have some knowledge of computation and programming a little bit, so I can do that. So for now, I want to let my colleague also to introduce himself, because we are going to be with you here, and maybe during this session, you may just call me Nick. It will be okay. If you are writing something on the chat, just say Nick and I will respond. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nick. That's right. No, we will be team teaching here. Nick and I will be the main facilitator together with Professor Kathy, who will also come in from time to time. So again, welcome everyone, Mabuhay Philippines. So you might think that I'm Korean because of my hair, but I'm Filipino. No, I'm from Cebu. No, in Cebu we say maayong adlaw, no, or this afternoon maayong hapon. Okay, so let me introduce myself. So I'm Engelbert Reyes. You can call me Vert. So currently, I'm the Faculty Research Program Coordinator, the Center for Policy Research and Development Studies in University of San Jose Recoletos. And I'm also finishing my PhD in education, major in research and evaluation at the University of San Carlos. And I was actually enticed, by Professor Kathy when she shared that they are offering, NTUST is offering some scholarship. No, I'm interested, no, Professor Kathy, to apply. No, maybe after I'm finished with my first PhD. So here are some of my skills and expertise. So I'm into educational technology, educational psychology, educational research, special education, and pedagogy. So I've been teaching most of these subjects in the last 6 years in the College of Education, but right now I'm I'm working in an office in a research center. And modesty aside, I was the second placer in the board exam, in the national board exam for teachers, like way back 2010, or a decade ago. So I hope to learn also from you, as we go along this 3-day training. So allow me to introduce also my school. So I'm from University of San Jose Recoletos. It's a Catholic school, one of the prestigious and big universities in the Visayas. So the School of Education is a recognized leader in shaping and mentoring high-performing education professionals who will go forth with a lifelong love of learning, skills essential for thriving in a global knowledge-based economy. And at the School of Education, we aim to develop Christian, community-oriented, competent, and effective Filipino teachers. We are also certified by the Commission on Higher Education, and in fact, we have been given the award up until now since 1996, the Center of Excellence in Teacher Education. And we're also housing the ESD, or Education for Sustainable Development Research Training and Development Center. So with that, having said all of these, you are assured that your facilitators are really experts to the things that we will be tackling all throughout this program. And now I'm giving you back now to Professor Kathy again to give us the course rationale overview and some objectives. Professor Kathy.
Okay. Thank you, Bert. So now it will go back to me. Let me talk about the main topic of our program. It's called Implementing Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, through project problem-based integrated STEAM teaching. So as you can see from the title, there are several things that we will go over in this training session. The first thing is to introduce the importance of sustainable development goals and how, especially through the pandemic, everybody was, worried about how we can change the world and how to develop or teach our kids to become an practitioner to make some changes about what's going on right now. So we need to give them some idea or awareness of what's going on to have a sustainable development. So we will have something to talk about with this and how this can be integrated into what we call project or problem-based learning. So that will be the second important pedagogy that we will discuss in these training sessions. And we will give you some examples and how you can integrate some of the products that was invented here or developed in Taiwan and use those products into those classes in the curriculum, especially for the STEAM teaching. So you can see from the course schedule, it actually supposed to be 5 days, but we try to make it very condensed and very and concise, so everybody can learn through these 5 hours, so learn a lot from here. And I think what we call a seminar or training will be a little bit different from other online training where you just listen normally. But this time we really need your participation as well, because we really believe that when you participate, you learn better. Okay, and you reflect. Okay, so I will talk about for the first day today, we will talk about the orientation. We will take you through exactly what we will show you for the 3 days. And start from day 2, we will go over the role of technology in the problem solving process. And we talked about can the robot assist. And we will also talk about, on the second section, we will talk about do our bit using microbit. And for the third day, at the in the first session, we will talk about, type a few lines of codes to create sustainability. It's a coding bar. Okay, so we also introduce some new technology that you can integrate it into your classes, and those are easy to operate and implement. In the last part, we will reflect upon life and SDGs to bring science and technology into actual practice. We will also talk about the importance of reflection. So those will be the breakdown of what you will learn. And I won't go into details, but you can check at the bottom part. You all cover problem-based or project-based learning and STEAM teaching and the SDGs for all these days. So you probably would know from now that everything will start from here. So we really need your participation. And in order to make this a very valuable experience, I think it will be nice if you guys can participate as much as you can. And I trust me, by the end of the third day, you will reflect by how much you learn from this experience. Okay, so besides this, we will also allow you to try and see all the new technologies that you probably will be using later on. Okay, so now I will turn it's Vert's turn. So I will give it back to Vert. So Vert will start the whole training.
Right. Thank you so much, Professor Kathy. It's it makes me excited as well, no, for the entire the lessons to be covered, and some technologies that we will also get to know and hopefully use. All right, so I think the first major input that we will be sharing is all about the 2030 SDGs, or the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So, um, just an overview. In 2015, September 2015, there were 193 world leaders who signed the 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 enforcement of these 17 SDGs. And so in January 1st of 2016 was the start of the implementation of these SDGs and the aggressive awareness campaign of the 17 SDGs. And I'm sure you have heard about Sustainable Development Goals and some of these goals. So, but before we go into the 17 goals, let's first unlock what sustainable development is all about. Even before the SDGs, there were already um, conversations about sustainable development. And I'm not sure if Nick is still here, but Nick, are you still here, Nick? Okay, so maybe Nick is having difficulty connecting. But again, let's go back to sustainable development. So sustainable development is defined as the development that the needs. I can see. Okay. That meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own. So basically, it's the most important definition or the very essence of what sustainable development is. We want our future to be secure for our children's children, not only of our own. So if we're enjoying this fresh air, these beautiful sceneries, these resources, environment, this growth and education. We also want our kids, our grandchildren, to be also enjoying the same thing. So we're trying to meet our own needs at present while ensuring that the needs of the future of our children's children, of our grandchildren, will also be met. All right, so that's what sustainable development is. And for sustainable development to be achieved, it is crucial to harmonize these three core elements: economic growth, and environmental protection. So in other words, when you say sustainable development, we are not only focusing on prosperity or growth when it comes to economy. We also want to ensure that while we are experiencing progress economically, we also want to show respect for human life and respect for the environment. Now, when these three, are are taken care of, we will surely achieve sustainable development, right? So, for example, the pandemic, right? Coronavirus, COVID-19. So it's hard to separate coronavirus or the COVID-19 pandemic from the issue of health, no, good health and well-being. No? It's also hard to separate it from um, no poverty, no hunger, right? Because of this pandemic, a lot of you know a lot of aspects in our lives have also been affected. So something like that. With these sustainable goals, we want to reach inclusive, and all-encompassing development, not only in one aspect but all throughout. Okay? So again, there are three dimensions here: the economic side, the the human aspect, and then the environmental side. We can also look at SDGs through this framework known as the five P's. Okay, so you have people, prosperity, peace, partnership, and planet. So if you are familiar with the 17 SDGs, although it's hard to memorize all of them, you would realize upon reading the 17 SDGs that, for example, SDG 1 to 5 uh, are all about people. It's no poverty, no hunger, no zero hunger, quality education, and so on, right? And then there's also the SDGs that tackle about the planet, no, life on Earth, water and air. Okay, then prosperity, the economic growth, and then partnership and peace, of course. Okay, so um, the SDGs are anchored on these five P's again: people, prosperity, planet, partnership, and peace. And you have to also realize that we should not look a goal, each goal separate from the other goals. These goals are interconnected and interrelated. When one issue is not addressed, when one goal is not addressed, for example, no poverty, it would be hard to achieve peace. It would be hard to achieve good health and well-being. Sometimes the cost of this war and conflict, the cost of uh, children not receiving quality education is because of poverty. So you see, all of these five P's of people, planet, prosperity, partnership, peace are interconnected, interrelated. They affect one another. Okay, right. And then these are also important um, objectives and core characteristics of the SDGs. Number one is it is universal. It is a call for action for all peoples in the world. It's not only the world leaders or our national leaders who will be um, worrying and who will be busy working on achieving the SDGs, but even us teachers, and most especially our students, as early as kindergarten, they should already be aware, no, become aware and become conscious about, climate change, about living for sustainable development, no, and so on. It's a universal call for action, right? So that's one thing universal, and it cannot also be. It's not also cannot be divided. No? So you call it indivisible. So it cannot be that only one goal is something that we aim for, or only one country is addressing the SDGs. No? So each of us should take part, and each of us uh, should cooperate in order to achieve the SDGs. So no, so it's not only the responsibility of the rich country. It's not only the burden of the poor countries. All countries in the world, all citizens, regardless of race, gender, we we have the responsibility, to make our world a better place to live in, not only for today, but for the future generation. Okay, and it aims it it aims to be transformative. No? Meaning to say, really, the aim of SDGs is to make our lives better, no? Those children, like in the picture, those children, malnourished children in maybe in some countries in Africa who have very little food, no, that they'll receive no good food, adequate amount of food, no, and that other no people in some poor areas in Asia no would receive proper education. Okay, so it really intends to be transformative. Okay, I'm not sure if Nick is already. Nick, are you here, Nick? Hello, Nick. Okay, I think Nick is still not around. So now it is
Yes, I'm
about
here. I'm
you're here.
here.
Okay,
I'm
I
following.
can
Yeah.
yeah
Yes. Yeah.
I can't see you, Nick. Okay, there
Yeah.
you go. All right. So now the challenge is the implementation, right? Is SDGs is not simply an awareness campaign. It should go beyond that. It should allow each one of us to take part, to practice, you know, practice some uh, habits that will be sustainable, that will help in building a sustainable future. Okay, or that will be um, contributory to sustainable development. Right. So now the question is, because you're all teachers here, right? Why? Why should we teachers make use of SDGs in our classroom? Why should we teach SDGs in our classroom? So these are some of the top reasons, no, of why we should teach SDGs in our classroom. Okay? So maybe Nick would like to say something.
Yes, because I'm listening to this pertinent question that you are really asking. Why? Why do we need it to be inside our classrooms? Why do we need to teach it? Recently, in the just concluded United Nations General Assembly, I was hearing every leader in the world talking about uh, the Sustainable Development Goals, because these goals are really universal, and that means that if they are universal, then they are really applicable to our class, they are really applicable to our society. And teachers, as a part of the uh, uh, solutions to the societal problem, because it is the teacher who trains the trainee or the student to come up with ways of solving societal problems. So if you ask this question, I'm really certain that it is a pertinent question. And I think that for the reasons that we have listed here, you can see that for the first reason, you have there that they are good for our planet. Of course, we are utilizing the resources in this planet, but who is making a new one? We are building, but who is creating new land? Nobody. So we have to ensure that there is sustainability to what we are using. So why bring this aspect to the classroom? We need it in the classroom because, one, it is good for us. It is good for the humanity. And this makes the student to learn how to respond to the societal problems, because this is the main reason why we need education. So the third reason is that to teach them empathy, like you empathize with the problem, because if you can know that there is this kind of problem in the world or in the society, and we need to uh, uh, solve it. So how are we going to solve it? We're only going to solve it if we try to put that same shoes. So if we put on that same shoes, we'll realize that this is something that we need to do. It is our responsibility. So if it is my responsibility, then I need to learn it. And where do we learn it? In the classroom. So I think it is very good to teach. It is timely, or it is good enough to teach SDGs. We also teach SDGs because it gives our lesson planning, our lesson processes a new perspective. You get to also widen the scope, because you are teaching to solve this the societal problem. So why have a lesson of just having you are teaching science there, the germination, or you are teaching something on mathematics, area of a rectangle? You need to think more, like how will this area of a rectangle help to solve some societal problem? So it's only through SDGs, if you learn them, you'll realize that there is somewhere where mathematics, where science, where arts, or where your technology is going to solve something. We also do this to give a valuable educational resource to ourselves, because through this we will get to expand our scope. So if we expand our scope so that we solve things together, then we are going to add more value or give more resources to our education. Then also it gives focus to classroom discussion, because the problem is universal. So we can discuss, we can collaborate more, we can learn from each other. This is the problem, but I can't do it alone because I'm only a science graduate. I'm only an arts person. But how are we going to do? We in the classroom, we're gonna come together and try to view the curriculum or have a discussion on how we do our discussion or our classroom or our teaching. And lastly, I may say that they also align with the curriculum, because if you read all of them, I read one of them is quality education. So how do you solve the issue of quality education? Only by aligning your curriculum towards the standard sustainable development goals. So maybe you may want to add more, but I think
Yes,
that this
yes,
is a pertinent question. Why do it in the classroom? Yeah, yeah.
yes. There's a comment here from Maurice Olivier Bailan. He said, Microsoft Education also aims towards implementation and incorporation of these SDGs in the education system. That's true. Also, I think almost all companies who have some sense of social responsibility, they do campaign, no, for the incorporation of SDGs in the curriculum in our lessons, right? You have to understand that gone are the days wherein we we we're so focused on letting our students memorize people, names, places, and dates. You know, 1+1, or what the formula of Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, and so on. We have to put extra depth on that, and that the best way, because this is, we're talking about education, and what's more, what can we best educate, okay, than the SDGs. No, we have to let our kids, as early as I've said, as early as kindergarten, realize and understand that in this world they have to be responsible. They have to learn to take care of the plants, right? The rivers, the water, the air, the pollution, so on. They have to be concerned on that, because it's, for their own good, it's for the people's good, and also for their children's good. And I also think that, you know at present, yes. There's also another response from Maurice. I agree. Authentic assessments are encouraged rather than the objective ones which measure lower order thinking. You're right, Sir Maurice. We have to be authentic. Not that whatever we teach in the classroom should be based on what is happening outside, no, in the real world. We should not just be teaching about the water cycle, or that there are gases in our atmosphere and so on. But beyond that, we have to go back to what is really essential, what is really important, and that is basically those are the SDGs. That there are life in water, life in air that must be taken care of, right? There must be that we have to realize that climate change is real and we need to act. It's not anymore a question of when will our planet be destroyed, or when will, you know climate change be at full blast, but it's not a question of uh, uh, whether it will come or not, but the question is whether we can, slow down the process, of destroying this this planet. No, we are slowly destroying our planet, and again, there's still way, to help our planet and build a sustainable future. And that is really always be teaching lessons, not only lessons in our milk, right? The most essential learning competencies in the Philippines, Nick. Right now, when the pandemic started, we are already using the milk that we only teach the most essential learning competencies. It's not only that, but we also inject, giving extra depth, talking, touching these sustainable development goals. You know, uh, zero hunger, poverty, gender equality, peace, partnership, and so on. Okay, so yeah, so I think I hope you realize that uh, in today's in today's education and pedagogy, it's not so much on contents, but right now, we should go beyond. We should be able to teach. We should be able to teach something that will be relevant to their lives, something that they will be able to really uh, practice, no, in their own lives and help also uh, prepare also for the future. Okay, so I think we're good with this SDGs, Nick. So these are the 17 SDGs. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnership for the goals. So this time, Nick, you may want to give a briefer on what will happen next.
Yes, we have talked a lot. We have talked much, and we have shared. And I'm seeing so many participants are here. And I believe even from the comments, you have already seen that they have some suggestions. So it is now that time that we want to share as participants. We want to share among ourselves. It's sharing time. So just a quick reminder during the sharing, you try to keep it short and involve everyone when you are sharing, and always try to change it up, yeah, like give every person a chance to speak. So the ideas that you have already now, we have learned in this short moment that we have talked to you. Now we want to go to that time when we are going to the groups. And in your groups, we have to do some little norms, and I will also give you the task. So for the norms of the groups, because every time you may be able to get different group members. So in your groups, your norms will be just 4. You will try to, the first thing, introduce yourself, because these are your learning partners. We are not ending here. This is something that we need to share between ourselves. Always select a team leader and somebody to take notes, and then discuss the issue at hand that we are going to give you, and then share with us your thoughts at the end of it. So that's why you need a leader, and you need somebody to take some quick notes, and then you will share with us briefly at the end. So the task now is very simple, because if you are following what Vat was saying in the whole process, he has talked about the United Nations SDGs, and this is an issue that we now know of, or we are trying to understand. So we want you to go into your group sessions, and you will identify any one issue from the SDGs that pose some threat to the environment around you. So just think about just one issue, and then the questions are simple. What can you do to solve them? And as a teacher, how do you teach your students about these issues?
Right.
Just that simple. Try to brainstorm more about the SD, try to get more of how you can solve them. Try to brainstorm on the solutions and then how you can teach it, because we are teachers. How are we going to tell others to do this? So that is the task you are going to have in the next 10 minutes. And then we will come back here and share with us. I will identify people to share with us at the end of it. So you have the breakout sessions. You will be taken to different groups, and then do as we have said. The norms are there, and the task is there on your screen. You can see it now. Just go to your group and discuss that. Yeah. So it's time to share.
Okay. Thank you, Nick. So, Nick, which group are you?
Change afterwards.
Okay, Nick and Reyes, Bert, I put you in group 1, so maybe you can
Okay.
help out the students in group 1, and when you want to change your group, let me know.
Okay. Okay.
And everyone can turn on their cameras and mics too.
Right.
There you go.
So everyone can turn on their mic. Yes. So this is a group. You have Adrian. I can see.
就这个啊，你要去哪里？
Hey, where are the members of this group? We already said the norms, so you can hold a discussion. Now it is among yourselves. So you can try to share more about the SDGs. You can try to just try among yourselves. We'll go back to the main group in the next 10 minutes. So we begin. Turn on your microphone, the person talking.
Wait, can we start?
Yes.
We need to
Yes,
introduce
you
ourselves,
can
right?
start. I'm just a guest here.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
just
Hi,
watching. Yeah.
everyone. Can you please turn on your camera, please? Hi, teachers. What about the others? Hi,
Good afternoon
Adrian.
po.
Hi, Maurice. All right, so let me introduce first myself. Would that be fine? All right, so I'm teacher Caitlin. I'm just new here in High Tutor right now. I'm a Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, major in broadcast, and I've been teaching for almost 5 years. But basically, this is not my previous jobs, right? So, um, I am planning to take my masteral units after 2 years. And then I need to focus on teaching. That's all. What about the others? Can you please tell me more about yourself? Miss- Yes, ma'am. Miss Judeline Reyes.
Hi everyone, I'm Judeline Arias Akas. I'm from Cebu, Philippines. I'm currently teaching in Philippine Science High School Central Visayas campus here in Cebu. And um, I look forward in working with STEAMwork 3.
Great. So thank you so much. What about Miss Sarah?
Hello everyone. So good afternoon. I'm Sarah. So I'm a junior high school science teacher. So I I teach grade 9 and grade 10 since until last year because until last school year this school year I'm not currently teaching. I'm currently having I'm starting my master's and yeah, that's it.
Great. That's great. What about Adrian?
Hi, good afternoon po. So, I am
Is it
Adrian
okay if we
Manuel.
can? Oh, you're not feeling well. I am.
Environmental problem that we're
Okay.
facing,
But
as
I
well as
think
the noise
I,
pollution.
air pollution, I think everybody will offer this one. So maybe we
Mm-hmm.
skip this one.
All right.
We don't want to talk the same topic with
I
others.
see.
So maybe we
Okay.
can choose difference. So everybody have other opinions. Maybe we can share.
Yes. How about,
Okay.
can we
Mm-hmm.
hear from other attendees as well? Like Richard, are you
Yeah, but
here?
they don't answer,
Hi,
they don't
good
speak. Hello,
afternoon.
everybody, can we discuss? Because in these 4 times,
Okay, I can
five
hear. Can you hear
times.
me? I
Hey, good
hear.
afternoon.
Good
Yeah,
afternoon.
yes, good afternoon.
Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
Richard, right?
yeah, I guess we will be talking about sustainable development goals, the 17 sustainable development goals, the SDG.
And it's really nice to meet you. Yes. All right. So to be honest, I really don't know how to uh how to proceed the conversation, but unless yeah, this is the what I want to say first to y'all. So what are we going to talk about next?
So we are tasked to identify one issue or problem related to the SDGs, and then what are we going to do to solve them, and then if as a teacher, how can we teach our students about these issues? There is actually a Jamboard where we can put in our ideas. It was
What about? I'm not sure. It's TA right? All right. So there you go.
Yeah, Miss Caitlin, I think you may discuss now the the task,
Sure,
which
I
is
can be
yes.
the leader, but who will be my secretary? Who will be the one to take note of it? Can I assign somebody? I hope you
Yes,
don't
yes.
mind.
Sure, sure.
All right, can I have Sarah?
Go, Sarah.
Okay. All right. Basically, I'm not an education graduate, all right, but um, since that I love teaching and my passion is teaching. Okay, this is my last profession. All right. All right. So, thank you so much, guys, for sharing a brief introduction about yourself. It's highly appreciated. All right. So, we're about to discuss the some environmental problems in your place. Okay. So we live in different places here in the Philippines, and right. So I just who wants to share first? Okay. So the first question is, what are some environmental problems around you? What are the most serious ones, and what can you do to solve them? I think we can. Okay. Each of one of us can answer these questions. Who wants to try first? Okay, let me give my thoughts. Okay, so basically I live in Bulacan, Malolos, Bulacan. Okay, and then of course the main problem is of course poverty. All right, it's the basic problem here in the Philippines. All right, and of course there there are some, there are more people who loses their business and their jobs. Okay, so the serious, of course, if, how it, of course, drugs, right? That's the most serious ones. Okay, and of course, number one is corruption. All right, so those are the common serious problem in our workplace. Okay, so can I do? What can I do to solve about it? Honestly speaking, I don't know. All right, I don't know how to solve this problem because sometimes, based on my experience, okay, if you're not in the position, for example, in the local barangays, you don't have the privilege sometimes because you might be misinterpreted by your neighbors or by any other person. So basically, um as a teacher, when I was in private schools before, of course, I am trying to incorporate the learning, not just the lesson itself, all right, into real life situation. Example, for example, I am teaching, I taught before, what do you call this? I forgot the subject again. It's not history, but oh, that's it. It's world history.
How about for those who just joined us, we are now doing brainstorming on the pressing environmental problems we are experiencing. So, so we're sharing ideas. Yes, lovely. So face
Um,
mask and no face shield.
yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
But another one I think is quality education. As we know, we are all um, asked to stay from home, to stay at home.
Yeah.
And actually, this is my concern because I am not sure if our children are receiving quality education given the fact that most, if not all of them, are staying at home and learning online. Of course, I salute our hardworking teachers, school teachers. They're really giving their best, but this is a limitation uh, that we have to accept right now since I don't think we can afford to start face-to-face classes. Though I heard that some have already had their pilot run
Yeah.
starting this semester. Yes. So that's for me, quality education. And I also have to include poverty and hunger. Um, as we know, a lot of people have lost their jobs and are also limited with the resources that they have. And probably, and I would say that we are very lucky and blessed that we still have jobs right now. So yes, that's for me. And if you don't mind, I would also like to offer my answer to the next questions. What can you do to solve them? This is a collective effort. It's not just an effort of one individual. So when it comes to quality education, like what we all know now, it's not just the effort of the teacher anymore. It is a collective effort of the household where the student is learning. So, in order for us to at least provide quality education, I think we have to somehow provide our children at home that environment conducive to learning, though it is impossible for some, uh, especially like in my own home. It's not it is really a small household. So my sister who's still studying in college, sometimes she needs a spot where she could really concentrate. So I think as a collective effort for us in the family, we try to provide her that peace and quiet, okay, for quality education. For hunger and poverty, uh, should we just rely on our politicians to solve this issue? But I think in one way or another, an extension of help will do. I mean, right now, I'm not also sure how I can contribute to end poverty. It seems like it is an impossible task. Maybe little by little, we can help people who are close to us who don't have any means of livelihood right now, starting a small business or patronizing their businesses. I think that would also help. And as a teacher, how do I teach the students? Actually, my students right now, if you're familiar with the TED Talk website, I use that most of the time to discuss pertinent issues with my students, especially the adult learners for one-on-one classes. Um, I think they are more familiar with the use of English and also the environmental problems. Sorry, I see that we only have a few seconds left. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yes, and may I actually I have a class at 3, so probably I won't be with you guys later, so I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Okay. Anyone else would like to add with the 30 seconds that we have? Yeah. Perhaps as teachers, we should be intentional in including it in our syllabus, and how we can include the SDGs in our syllabus, to be intentional about it. So I have a lot of things to say with regards to quality education, but we don't have time anymore. Well, thank you guys for your.
All right, so we're back. We're so happy to see all of you being very serious about the task. All of you were really trying to give some really good input, especially on the issues and problems within your locality, within your community, right? So at this time, Nick, do you have are you eyeing a group to report to the plenary or present their discussion to the plenary? Oh, you're muted, Nick.
All right, 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 right. I saw it. Okay, so I'm saying that I also went through the groups and I can confirm that they had very good discussion. So as I said, I would try to pick. I hope you got somebody who can report to us at least what you have discussed. And I know that there were many things that you could have said, but maybe just take 1 to 2 minutes to share with us. Can I have somebody from group 4?
Somebody from group 4?
Yeah, the one in charge of group 4.
Hello, I'm not sure if we are group 4.
Yes.
For
Even I was not sure as I hopped from group one group to another group. I'm not sure
So
as
I'm
well
not
what group
really sure.
number.
But then let me just share what we discussed. I'm
Okay.
not turning on
Okay.
my camera because my internet connection is quite bad.
Yes,
But
that's
well,
fine.
for the little time that we had, the most pressing environmental problems that were
Problem.
discussed were um, the disposal of masks and shields, since we're in the
Yes.
Philippines. So then, poverty and hunger because of those who lost their jobs because of the pandemic.
Because of the
And
pandemic, right?
yeah, and access to quality education because of our setup of learning from home.
Online.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, because not everyone has a space in their homes to have be able to conducive for learning, and not just that, also the access to quality internet connection and devices, things
Yes.
like that. And also, if I may add, the ability to assess if there is true learning with this new setup that we have.
Still
So
about quality education.
yeah, and then as a proposed solution, the group discussed that first for mass no, sorry, for poverty and hunger, to encourage the generation of small businesses, ideas for businesses so that it would generate income or and employment. Yeah. So there and also as teachers to be intentional in including the SDGs in their syllabus so that it will be really part of uh, instruction rather than just an afterthought of a teacher or just an individual effort of a teacher. Rather, you intentionally include it. You require your teachers to include it in the syllabus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all
Okay.
that we have
Thank
within
you.
Wow,
given time.
That's so.
those were plenty, quite a lot of issues that you covered there, teacher Lisa.
Yes. Can I have one last person to say also?
Yes.
From group 5, the group where you were last, I think they had a good discussion. Can we have the last person?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
So hi, for our group, some of my group mates were able to discuss environmental related problems such as access to clean water and some because of the pandemic, the carbon footprint we think has increased because of the additional use of different devices. So I think that one as a teacher, of course, one good solution for this problem is proper information dissemination so that our students will be more cautious of their activities at home and and then as a teacher, what can we do to solve such related issues? So during our group discussion, I shared this earlier that I am teaching research in our school, and because of the pandemic, it was very hard for us to come up with research topics, especially since we are a science high school. It is demanding to have to produce a STEM research, which involves experiment, and because of the quarantine restrictions, our students cannot go out. So we have to focus on data research, data mining, wherein we get different data sets available from open source databases and analyze it. And one of my students were able to do a modeling of if the Philippines will be able to eradicate tuberculosis by 2030, which is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, which is health related. And with this, I think this research will help the policymakers and the government to come up with solutions. So, as I have said, there are a lot of data available, and we need to just use it and analyze it, and we have to align it to the SDGs, and we have to go back to our roots, which is the community.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Very well said. Very well said. So,
I, I Yes, I
yeah.
like actually the part when Miss Averill said that we can when we let our students do research. Of course, research is almost a requirement of senior high, junior high school students, right? They have to do research. Maybe the topics even should be anchored on SDGs, and they can also use available databases from the net, which we have not really exhausted, so we can utilize them and see some patterns and the trends and come up with policy development. Very good, Miss Averill. So, yes, Nick. Any thoughts to share?
Yes, I think because I'm seeing so many people are some people saying that they have classes. I think uh, we still have a lot to say about SDGs, and we still have so many other things to say.
Yes,
And I know none of the groups completed their discussion. There's still a lot to share. So we're
that's
gonna leave it
true.
at that point first,
Yeah,
so that we release people to do also to go to the classes. I can see some are asking to go to class or to go to work. So maybe Do you have something about the SDGs that you want to recap from what you have seen from the discussions?
Yes. So it's important that when we teach our lessons, we always also think about how we can teach this lesson with respect to sustainable development goals. Science teacher, whether you're a geography teacher or a math teacher, find a way to incorporate, lessons and values about sustainable development goals so that it will be really, it will be deeply ingrained in their mindset, in their mental habit to do something for the environment, to do something for the future. That's it, Nick.
Okay, so and well said. So we must end it at that point, so
But
that
yeah,
we give room for also what to do tomorrow, because we still have the other parts. We talked about the project-based integrated STEAM teaching. So this program is still having so many other points that we are going to dwell on. So I want us to still brainstorm more on the SDGs, but we will try to see how we will integrate our classes to cover all those parts of STEAM teaching so that we can meet the or we can align our curriculum or instruction to SDGs. So maybe I just want to say that tomorrow at around the same time, that is at 2 p.m.
yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think we will meet here so that we also see some of the tools or some of the things that we have developed to help us achieve some of the STEAM teaching in line with the SDGs requirements of quality education, and also to solve some climate problems or to solve some issues of inequality. So because SDGs is really wide. So tomorrow we will see some few tools, some of the technologies we have. So tomorrow we'll have the robot, and we'll also have something on the microbit. So please
The
join.
problem solving process.
Yes, we will know about the problem solving process, because all this we are teaching to solve a problem. So I really want you to I really want you to join us tomorrow, because it will even be better. So see you tomorrow. And if you have any question regarding SDGs, or you want to have any more discussion, you can add it on the chat. Yeah. So
Nick,
yes.
Lisa actually has a question here. Can you recommend sources where we can get ideas how to integrate SDGs in specific subjects? So we will try to compile some sources and maybe share it to you tomorrow, Lisa. Before we go, I think Andrew wanted us to open our camera for a group picture taking before we officially end our session this afternoon. Can we open all our cameras? Turn on all our cameras?
Yes, let's turn on our camera for the photo.
And give us your best smile.
And you can smile, you can say cheers, you can put the pause.
All right, maybe Andrew, you can give us the cue.
All right, okay, so hi, I'm Andrew. So I'm going to take a picture for everyone. So let me count to 3. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3. All right, let me take another one. All right, so it's me 1, 2. Oh, wait, sorry, I have to copy the first one first. Give me a moment. Okay, is everyone ready for the second picture? All right, 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right, thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
bye-bye.
everyone. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank
All
you.
of you.
Tomorrow, same
Very
time.
good to
Bye-bye.
see everyone here.
Yeah.
Thanks for participating. Nice to hear
Bye.
everyone. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.